This is Let's Talk Big, the big read with Jane Berger and Jen Hazel. The Owens Community College Campus Read is taking place now and throughout the semester, with the goal of bringing awareness of different perspectives through books. The Campus Read book is Carrie, a Memoir of Survival on Stolen Land, from 2020 recipient of the NEA Creative Writing Fellowship, Toni Jensen. It's a memoir and essays about gun violence, land, and Indigenous women's lives. Now sharing passages, topics, and events related to the book, Carrie, a Memoir of Survival on Stolen Land, is Owens Community College Director of Library Services, Jane Berger, and Professor of English, Jen Hazel.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jen Hazel, and I have with me
Jane Berger.
And we are here to today passage, Jane?
Of course. What a better way to, kind of get in the groove of a new semester than to just read my favorite passages.
Woo-woo, we love our passages.
So we're about halfway through the book with this passage. If you're new to reading the book, it doesn't matter that we're halfway through. You're not left behind because each chapter can be read independently. But this one comes from page 162. That day at the grocery store, I'm grateful for how we still have a bag of dog food at home. First, the nice woman behind the counter had to tell me my bank card's been declined. It's the kind of store where you bag your own groceries, so it takes me a minute to stop putting apples in a sack to find my other card. Next, of course, it's the other card, the credit card, declined. The cashier is white, late, middle-aged, has glasses that cover most of her face. She looks tired and are shifting side to side a little, or perhaps it's time for her break, or perhaps she's just embarrassed for me. So, that's always been my fear, is that my card will get declined. I've not had that. No, I take that back. I think I did have it happen. There was a problem with, I don't even remember the details, but it is very humbling. It is very embarrassing because you feel like at least I did, felt like I had to explain, like, okay, well, I really do have money in my account, but it must be blah, 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 like the cashier cares. And I'm sure she's heard every story, from other people. But it is a very uncomfortable feeling. Whether or not you think it's a possibility, it's not anything any of us want to experience. Have you ever had that happen to you?
I have. My experience at the time was I actually was, oh no, I don't have the money, which is
her case,
her experience. Right. And I think that in itself is a different experience than knowing, but it was declined.
Absolutely it is.
So I can empathize in that area, but I will say this. I thought it was just enough, but it wasn't in the account. Mm-hmm. Now, what also was different than what Toni has experienced was that I knew I probably had it in another account, but thought that account was okay. So that's still not the
Yeah, she had it nowhere.
Nowhere.
Right.
And I didn't have much. Do you know what I mean?
Right. But you still knew you had the comfort, I guess, of knowing that, well, I could use this card because I know I have.
Well, and I didn't have that card, but I was pretty sure it was probably on that other card. And I was like, oh, I think.
Yeah.
And let's say this, yes, I could have covered that, but I still would have been in that experience. So I had to put something back. And I thought there was just enough, but I didn't have the other card. There would have been enough on the other card, but it wasn't really like there was anything else.
Right, exactly.
And that is, Jane, that's a super good point because that really is. It is embarrassing because you're like, oh, I couldn't have paid for this. But the reality of is that many Americans at some point in their life have experienced that, and many experience it every day.
Right.
And I think what's interesting, too, is that many more have experienced it as we've had this huge increase in goods since the pandemic that normally wouldn't have. Mm-hmm. And I think, and I'm not saying it's equatable to, by any means, someone who has lived their entire life in poverty. It gives some people a different lens to see a different perspective in a way that they might not have before.
Right. Well, and I thought it was interesting how she started that passage by saying, at least we have dog food at home. And I thought, oh my gosh. So here's this woman who is just trying to keep food on her table. She will go without eating, perhaps, not knowing what, she has at home, but her dog. It's sad. It is sad that anybody in our rich nation should have to experience that. And with that being said, on our campus, if you're a student, you don't have to experience that because we have the Center for Campus and Community Connection with a free food pantry and a free store that you could pick up anything from an artificial potted plant to clothes to wear for an interview and everything in between. And we also have, because I'm in the library, I know that we have a free food cart that is restocked, I want to say, a couple times a week, and it needs to be because people very often, many, many times throughout the day, take food off that cart. Now, they may not be experiencing any food insecurity on a long-term regular basis, but in that moment when they are studying and they're in between classes, they're hungry and there isn't food available, there is at least something there for them to have. And I know that Krista Kiesling, who is
the director
of the Center for Campus and Community Connections, is working on getting other snack carts around campus and down on our Findlay campus as well.
Please do, if you are experiencing anything like that, please do find one of those carts. Go visit the Center for Campus and Community Connections. I don't know the room number.
I was going to say located in College Hall, I believe it's 150.
Okay, so it is down past admissions area. So keep going and taking that hallway around past that great seating area, and you will find that there. You can also look it up online to reach out to that office. They can offer and support, provide a lot of support. That is going to do it for us today. Thank you for listening to our discussion of that passage. And again, reach out to the Campus and Community Connections if you are in need of any of those services. On behalf of Jane Berger and myself, keep talking big.
Catch Let's Talk Big on Outcast OCCR Owens Community College Radio every Thursday at 7 a.m., 10 a.m., 7 p.m., and 10 p.m., and at various times throughout the week. Or listen anytime on the Owens Outcome Plus YouTube channel. Let's Talk Big on the Owens Outcome Plus YouTube channel. Be sure to like and subscribe. And join us again here for Let's Talk Big, The Big Read with Jane Berger and Jen Hazel.